All right, welcome back to another video. Here we have the update preview, and then we'll go over to stove after this and check out the details of it. Right. So let's get started, man. They already added the Tory music for me, so I guess I don't have to add it. But hey, Origin Showdown. So I think this is going to be the something similar to how Arunka has like that battlefield thing that you're doing to farm, but this one has some difficulty on it. So maybe there's like some kind of currency in here. They're on normal, which is, seems to be 8 energy. I don't know, or is that the base one? Probably easy. But yeah, Radiant Hope. It looks like we're getting a new artifact here. Some gear, speed, and hit set, and it's going to be something similar to the carrot event. I don't know, bro. I feel like they nerfed my carrots, man. I mean, I ain't got no carrots all week. I got 20 carrots the entire week. So, I don't know. That whole week I got 20 carrots only. So, let's see. Speed, and it's they cost a lot, though. 1,100, 2,000 um, for the artifact. But it doesn't look to have it doesn't seem like there's two different currencies. It seems like it's one this time. So, hopefully we get more. Renac check-in event. I thought we had this already, but I guess not. So we're going to be getting maybe some extra pulls or something, bookmarks and stuff. Hopefully. All right, new kid add-in and Fenris. They're getting EEs. I want to see what theirs is, and then that's it. They're also getting buffs. Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be happening today. I saw a little bit of add-ins. I think she's being buffed to deal with Arunka because I think they know they kind of messed up with her, so they're trying to assist with that. Oh yeah, we don't pull on any of these. No, this is the Mystic banner. Ruel is decent. She could be annoying. Judge Kisei, I don't see too much of her. Same with Commander Pavel, I don't see too much of him. Bellion though is very good right now, especially if you have a 3F artifact. Maybe you pull for 3, you got 3F and you don't have a Bellion yet or something. Maybe you join around the Overlord collab, but you don't have a Bellion, and then here you go. You can get a Bellion if you choose to. Now keep in mind that after this banner, after this banner here that's being shown on screen, it's probably going to be ML Aria after that. So you should wait to see what she does before you pull. But Bellion is very good, especially into ML, even into ML Arunka teams. If you have 3F, she can kind of break down her back line very, very quickly, right? So if you want to go for her, go for her. If you have 3F, you should probably grab one of her if you can. But I would wait first and see what ML Aria does. Right. So that's that. Now let's go over to stove, and then we'll check out the details on. All right. So we're on the stove. So let's take a look at what's going on here. All right. So the video that we just watched, that's it here. We have balance adjustments for Fenris and New Kid Aiden, and they're also getting EEs. Now, when we look at Fenris, after granting increased attack, I'm pretty sure it's Gab, right? Yeah. Alright, let's just read the Awakening. After granting increased attack greater to the caster for 3 turns, okay. Attacks the enemy with an arrow of resolution and increases combat radius of the ally in the back row by 50%. That's a lot of CR to be giving, right? When the enemy's max health is greater than the target, than the caster's, right? When the target's max health is greater than the caster's max health, damage dealt increases proportionally up to 70%. Now, this is important. New Kid Auden is getting attacks the enemy with a bamboo sword, inflicting injuries, right? The severity of injuries increases proportions of the damage dealt. This is S1, right? Increase the max health of the target by up to 10% every time this skill is used. When the caster is granted vigor, a successful attack will inflict additional damage equivalent to 50% of the injuries inflicted on the target. So if you run her into like AoEs, then okay, she will hopefully evade. She's an evasion unit, but I mean when you have things like Afternoon Soak Flan that already has 50% innate evasion, even when she doesn't even have any focus, and when she has just one, she has 100%. I mean, these units that only have 50%, and then you put them on an artifact that's only given a 20, and they get hit anyways, and you're just gonna cry, right? But they seem to be trying to buffer to deal with Emil Arunca, right? To deal with Emil Arunca. Now, increases evasion by 50%. Oh, we read that already. Oh no, this is the pass. This is the pass. She has 50% evasion. Evading grants vigor to the caster for 1 turn, and then counterattacks, right? Counterattacks can only be activated once every turn. So whenever she evades, she's gonna grant vigor and then counterattack with her S1, which is gonna do 10% injury. This counterattack portion, you could probably just ignore this, because you know there's gonna be Mord running all over the place, and the Mord is gonna press S3 and step on you and stun you and flare you anyways, and you're not gonna evade, right? At the end of someone's turn, when the caster is granted vigor, increases combat readiness of the caster by 20%. Okay, so anybody, so enemy or ally, right? Whenever somebody takes a turn, she's gonna get 20% CR. Okay, that's okay. And the S3, we're gonna read the Awakening version here. After increasing attack of the caster for 3 turns, attacks the enemy with exceptional technique, inflicting injuries, right? The severity of injuries increases proportional to the damage dealt. Injuries decrease max health of the target by up to 30% every time the skill is used. So she's a 30% injury on her skill 3 every time the skill is used. It's also going to inflict 100% damage proportional to the injuries dealt, right? So whatever injuries they are, if they are injured 15k, they're gonna take whatever the S3 hits for, and then they're gonna take 15k fixed damage, right? Depends on how much injuries they got injured. So they're gonna take the initial hit of the S3. That's is gonna be a lot of damage, right? So I think they're trying to do this for Emil Arunca, because they know Emil Arunca is kind of too strong. They kind of match her skill cooldowns to Emil Arunca as well, to 3 turns, and she's losing some souls, but it's okay. Okay, and now we have the EEs. So let's start with Fenris. All right, she's getting attack. All right, and dispel an additional debuff from all allies when using Soaring Arrow. Okay, and because he's supposed to be, what was he supposed to be? Someone of an Ilinov counter too, right? He was supposed to be kinda, because of the damage that he does on the non-pen damage, right? And then the Gab as well, but that didn't really work too well. Alright. And into HARSETTI as well too. But let's start off with the skill 2. When facing HARSETTI as an enemy, grants Will of Purification, right? Only applies to PvP, right? This is Arena Guild Wars RTA, right? Alright. Grants Will of Purification. Will of Purification effect increases fighting spirit gain by 100%, and at the start of the first battle, increases combat readiness by 50%, which I think is more than Zeo, actually. I think Zeo is 20%, right? 50% unaffected by effects that the reduced combat readiness increases. So you cannot, you fiend this, you'll just cut up at the top, just like Zeo, right? So he gets 50% CR. He's good, which is gonna put him ahead of the HARSETTI. He's gonna S3, which is also going to push up whoever is in the back row by 50%, and then that person, if that person is a CR pusher as well, they can push your team up. Which I don't know if I like this, because alright, no, people might say, well, oh well, don't you want Don't you want ways to deal with Harsetti? No, I want Harsetti to be kind of balanced, right? But the problem is here. And yes, you can do this with Zio, but I don't complain about Zio too much because he's a boss character, right? Boss characters usually have unique effects that um that give them their boss status, right? Like we had A Mary, she was the first Seal character, and now everybody's just Seal's better than her almost, right? We have Muna, we had Knockwall just take away her job. You know, Seal is not the boss mechanic anymore. Zio is kind of getting this treatment too, but Zio is everywhere. Zio is for everything. He's just for Harsetti, right? And I think instead of doing this, you could have just balanced the unit. But I understand too that Smilegate put themselves into a corner, right? They made themselves before when they used to nerf units. Every time they nerfed a unit, they would give out a selector, a recall, and a selector, right? Similar to what they do with EEs, right? So you just recall the unit, get all the resources back, and select a new hero, even with the ML5. So they don't want to keep giving those out. So they rather just buff, and do all that, right? So now the problem is, one of my guildmates told me, because we were talking about it afterwards. This kind of makes Harsetti not useless, because a lot of people didn't pull for this character too much. But the point of Harsetti, right, or what her original use is to be somewhat of an anti-cleave unit, right? So you want to cleave, I'll pick Harsetti, right? It's supposed to be an anti-cleave unit, but now with this, you can just, I know, like I said, you can do it with Zio, but Zio still has, you can do it with Zio, but Zio is a boss character. I'm gonna give him leeway. This, you just press S3 on Fenris. You put maybe a CR pusher at the back, all right? Something like even a CR pushback, anything like an Ella Ghost. Like I was saying something like, the example I was using was something like a Sez, right? I know it's not practical. I'm just giving you an example, right? Like you go Fenris, right? Fenris S3s into the Harsetti. Hopefully he kills because he has that HP differential damage. Then Sez will AoE if she's below 30%, right? He'll proc his encroach, do that, and then he pushes. I think he pushes up by like 30%, and then he's gonna get 50% from Fenris's S3 as well. And with that, you can probably proc like a Commander Pavel. You can, and just given scenario, right? But you can think of way more devastating combos, right, than that. Anything. And you can just you can push up the Elagos. Actually, yeah, you can push up your Elagos and then just S3 the Harsetti pusher back and push up your team with his artifact. You can do a lot of things. You can bring anything. So she kind of like we don't want her to lose her place, right? She's a boss character. We don't want her to lose anything, but she's supposed to be an anti-cleave character. But you can just cleave her. I don't think that's the answer that people really want, but there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be happy with this, right? There's going to be a lot of people who say yes, but I don't know if that's the proper answer. The proper answer would just be to balance the unit, all right? So that's how it is. That's how it's going to be. I mean, even with new kid out in here, you're gonna counter. Either they're gonna pick a Mort for you, or you're not gonna evade, or you're gonna try to hit the Arunka. Arunka's gonna counter you, defense break you, and pop you with the with rocket punch or MOS, right? That's what's gonna happen to you. But yeah, let's look at Aden's EE. Crit chance is very good. First one is absorb some of the damage dealt as health when using an opening, which is a skill 1. And then you started this. With you started this effect increases the combat readiness by an additional 5%, so it's going to be 25% CR, which 2 enemy turns is 50%. That's a lot of CR, right? A lot of cycling. So she's going to be cycling pretty much almost as fast as Arunka is, kinda, right? So they're trying to make her keep up with Arunka and injure her down. But Arunka's a defense killing unit, right? Not really a HP killing unit, but it will make her easier to kill. You know. No, it's just that is just in a vacuum, right? You still have to deal with the other teams, right? Like I said, they can bring up more so you don't counter, right? So you don't counter and you don't get that extra injury every time. You can just get hit. They can seal you with a Muna on 3. They can do a bunch of things, right? So it depends. They can seal you with a Muna, anything they can do, right? So yeah. Let me see. Let me know what you think about those EEs. If you're happy with them, or do you want to see more? I want to see balance. I don't want to see things like this, right? Because these are just gonna keep going up and up and up and up, right? Well, what's the next unit that's going to be okay? We don't want Zeo to cut up, so we're doing something else, right? Like what's the next unit going to be that's going to say, okay, we want to stop FENRIS from cleaving the anti-cleave unit, kind of, right? What's that going to look like, you know? But yeah, you guys, hopefully you're happy. I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. You can just cleave her now. That's so insane. You can go Lidica, actually. You can go him with Lidica. Put Lidica in the back. Put Lidica in the back. You S3, push up the Lidica. Lidica S2s, gets 100% CR. Even if there's a young Senya on the team, it doesn't matter because it's Lidica. You push back whoever by 100%, and then you just cleave that. Boom. Dead. You know what I mean? So HARSETTI's gonna be losing a little bit of steam, at least on arena defenses, guild war defenses, things like that. Maybe not so much on guild. Maybe, I mean, a different team for guild wars, but arena definitely I can see the Lidica one working. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier, but yeah, you know what it is. That just came to mind. This is the new artifact. Increases critical hit chance by 10%. We have a lot of artifacts that increase crit chance by way more than this, up to 15%. We have some that give you 20, I think, like Wukong's, I think 20, but we have a bunch of these. And increases attack and critical hit damage by 4%, and they can stack up 6 times, which I think this is going to be more for PvE, because I can't really think about too many situations in PvP where you're attacking this many times with a unit, but you know. Even a 8% increase in crit damage could be good if you're like an extra turn unit, but we have artifacts that gives way more crit chance than this, and I think this is going to be more for a PvE. You stack up that attack and you hit the boss or something like that. Kayron and the other banners like that we don't summon on. So yeah, that seems to be everything. Certain UI elements, UI fixes, and everything. The people, are they happy? Like it is really odd that they had to put this thing for HARSETTI specifically. Like HARSETTI is in the name of the EE. That's so crazy to me, right? Failure as game designers, failure as balancing the game. You already made a unit just to counter HARSETTI, Young Senya, which that's mostly for arena. And have you not seen what people use in arena? They just bring their own ML Senya, Mort, Elvira, and then one other unit, and you just lose that instantly, right? So RTA, not so much. Banisher, you just have to stop the RNG turn order. Bullcrap, I don't know. Who knows? Did not expect them to make FENRIS Zeo 2.0. Yep. Somebody said this looks very cool. I don't know if this is what I want though. Abomination of a unit better be the next balance patch list. Abra S2 reworked. Yeah. Oh, damn, people are still not. Nice to see people complaining about FENRIS EE when HARSETTI isn't even that big of a problem right now and has multiple other counters. Showing that the average commenter is either silver or it doesn't even play the game. Huh. Now I don't know if this is I don't know about this one, Chief. But yeah. You know, I don't know about this one. This is not the way we want to see the game balanced. You know, just bring out a unit for unit for unit for unit for unit, right? Because you're gonna have to bring out if he truly makes Arsetti leave, then they're gonna have to bring out right. They're gonna have to bring out a unit that stops him too, right? So that's not what we want. We want balance in the game. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I was not expecting this, but you know, people who are happy about this are mainly just cleavers, right? I guess. But now she's an anti-cleave unit that turn 2 players can't even use because Fenris is just gonna run over anyways, right? I think there was a better approach, but if people are happy, I mean I can't say much about it, right? I guess I'm silver, so I can't say anything about it, you know.